Alok Sen from STQC DIT, Kolkata. Presently, I am also responsible for evaluation of e-governance solution in the eastern zone of our country. Now, my presentation will focus that in Indian scenario, how we evolve and why we evolve conformity assessment framework for e-governance solution in our country. As you see, in present days, our central government and also the various state governments has taken a very ambitious plan to implement e-government solution, particularly that many governments has taken that mission mode projects and also in an isolated way, and ultimately our objective is to have the e-governance in coming future. Maybe it will take some time, but the issue here that as a citizen of our country, we may also like to see that whether through these e-government solutions we are able to, these solutions are able to meet our citizens' expectations. And at the same time that our government bodies may like to see that whether that our vision for which these e-government solutions are implemented, whether the objectives are met, visions are achieved. These questions also come in various agencies who are sponsors and also those who are the solutions providers as well. So this raised a systems of conformity assessment framework, which if we see here that e-government means that implementations of various solutions, external and internal, through net or through information technology or combination of this, and the communications with various forms like G2C, G2G or G2B. In view of this, our objective is to optimize the delivery and also the e-governance, better effective e-governments. But issue is that here the government in e-government scenario are not visible but present 24/7, and the dependence of ICT, it also gives our concern as well as the risk. If you see that depending on the stage of implementation of the e-government solutions, the degree of interactions also increases from our initial point, maybe only simple static website, to the transaction levels. But as the interaction increases, the concern as well as the risk also increases. So although we get benefits, we get in the reduction of the service time, we get maybe the cost of the service are less, we get the improved customer satisfactions. This is our objectives in any government solutions, but also the risk in terms of economic risk, that as any government solutions, the economic risk are very high. The technological risk of obsolescence also, and right technology, choosing of right technology is also a question, and also the acceptability in our country where there is a diversification of the various opinions, issues, all these are there. Apart from that, as we are talking about as a user, we have some concerns whether we are getting the service in a comfortable and convenient way, whether the policymaker, as a policymaker, we may have a concern that whatever the vision and objectives of the government initiated for these e-government solutions are met, or the transparency issues are being achieved, and as a solution provider, whether that the solution provider is able to provide the solutions as per mentioned in the RFP. So in specific terms, the challenges remains to the policymaker regarding the fulfillment of the objectives, to the solution provider, the completion of the various milestones to be achieved, the user, whether the system is working as per my expectations and in the right manner, the funding agencies, whether that the fund, that value we give, whether it is, right proportions or exactly we are achieving the various output against that input of the money as invested, and procurement bodies, those who are responsible for the procurement, whether we are really are getting, adherence to the various regulations, we are getting what we are expected to, and the payment terms and conditions are being fulfilled. So, our assessment framework will be like that. We should address that end-to-end systems and component conforming the requirement for RFP and legal and regulatory requirements, and the user is satisfied with the service is given through the e-government solutions. And the body which assess or responsible to assess these solutions should be independent as a third party. Then they should be also competent to do the assessment, and also the process and the quality systems are in place so that reproducibility and reliability are there in the assessment, as well as the technical infrastructures, skills required, educations, training, etc., to do the professional work are also available with the assessment bodies. So our objective when we are planning to develop conformity assessment framework was that what is the degree of compliance are getting out of this e-government solutions. And the audience was, the stakeholders were the policymakers, solution providers, users, funding agencies, as well as the procurement bodies. And to be specific enough, there are different specific objectives to the administrator, solution provider, and the user as well. If you see the basic principles for which that conformity assessment framework was developed was the proportionality, that means that the assessment activities also should be commensurate with the value of the solutions. The accountable, somebody should be accountable, that means assessment body should be accountable for the assessment that has been carried out, the consistency, reproducibility and repeatability, then targeting as far as acceptable open standards are used, and the transparency means whatever the criteria, the test methods and objectives and procedures are there, that should be transparent and should be accredited by some accredited body. If you see the placement of the e-government solutions is, first it is initiated by the government, and depending on the requirement of the domain, that the domain knowledge, rules, procedures and business logics are introduced, then RFP is formed. During the formation of the RFP and final selection of the RFP, conformity body will finalize the criteria, and that criteria will be used to be the database, and finally the strategic control will be with the government as a whole. If you see the pictorial layer as a whole, the users, as you see that it is the same citizen, business or government, and then there will be various electronic gadgets can be used to connect with the internet or intranet. Then there will be some networking, maybe it's a SWAN or it may be internet. After that, it is that the informations will flow through the gateway to the 3 layers website, applications and database, and finally the reviewers and monitoring will be with the government, and this data again, if you see, the delivery will be in the opposite directions up to the citizen. So the various layers here are involved, and if you also see that the various controls in forms of quality gate are also being thought of as a part of the assessment framework. First of all is that from the interactions between the people layer to service layer, there will be government service, so there should be some criteria. Then if you see the service layer, it will be the IT service quality gate. Then in the technical layers, main issue will be the security gate, security layers, and the lastly, it may be the application quality as well. And if you see in the various layers, there are some basic essential requirements like software applications quality, information security related quality, and IT service management. Apart from that, there may be other many issues like documentations, then selections, user satisfactions, then technical issues like architectures and all these. So there should be some essential, there are some desirable, depending on the criticality of the IT solutions. And the methodology usually we use is that assessment, it may be audit, it may be various testing, it may be inspections. Finally, the objective is to evaluate the various IT solutions in an optimum manner. So when after the evaluations, there is an assessment of various attributes in a various, like one of the presentations is, we can have a benchmarking set, and we can also see how it is deviating from our benchmarking assessment topology. In quality gates of information technology, rather we, apart from the international standards of 11 domains which is there, we preferred for 3 basic principles of management control, operation control, technical control, particularly applications and infrastructure, which my colleague will tell you the evaluation of the information security standards in detail. In the quality gate, if you see here that the contracts are between the service providers and the government in terms of the tactical management systems and day-to-day operational management systems, particularly the model of ISO 20000 has been followed in various processes. And lastly, for the quality gate of the government service, usually ISO 9000, 2000, there is a special requirement of IWG4, which has come out in 2009 in terms of various service aspects has been taken care of. Apart from that, there are service quality model for websites. So that also will take care of usability, ISO 9241 as well, and basic principle of the quality management systems, which lies between management responsibilities, service quality, and the personal and human resources are also considered and taken care of. That's the right also. So the process is, after that RFP is finalized, then there is a appointment of the assessment bodies. There is a specific criteria. After the criteria is finalized, there should be some documentation review. After the documentation review, there should be a evaluation plan, and based on the evaluation plan, there may be multiple cycle of evaluation. After the evaluation report is produced, that will be reviewed by again independent body, and then after final certification schemes are being thought of. These tools or framework also being validated in various MNC projects like MCA 21 in municipality, in land records that we are evaluating for last 1 decade across the country, and then Envisions and India Portal, and lastly, which we are now presently doing it, Passport Seva, which is still not finished yet. Thanks.